Good.
Hi, Faith Reformed. We are the Filicicchias. I am Jessie, and this is Mikey. This is one of our cats, Joan, and this is
Gloria, you say hi?
Gloria Joy Filicicchia, and we are so grateful for your presence and your support in our lives and ministry in Toronto, Ontario. Do you want to say hi again, Gloria?
No, thanks.
No, thanks. Not right now. Do you want to say thank you? Are you feeling shy? Yeah, feeling shy. Thank you so much.
Well, as you guys might know, trying to wrangle a 2.5-year-old for a 5-minute video is difficult. So I just thought we'll have Jessie and Glory say hi with me, and then I'll try and cover most of the ministry updates. So hi, I'm Mikey, and loved your just the questions that were sent in. We'd love to share these things with you, and just what a joy to be able to connect, at least in some way, in this season, even though it's not the ways we would ideally and normally just expect and have. So so ministry this last year, in light of COVID-19, I wanted to give both categories of challenge and celebration. I think in particular for us here in downtown Toronto, our church is ZOE Toronto, reaching out to largely a young adult and university population from around the world here downtown. COVID-19 has been really quite difficult for us. A number of you may not know, but Toronto's had the longest lockdown in all of North America. We've had restaurants and indoor gatherings basically cut off for over a year now combined. And so things have been particularly shut down. Right now, we are in, COVID is worse than it's ever been as of today. We are in the third wave, which has been the worst that has hit Toronto. Canada's had a slow vaccine rollout, and so we are in another, right now we're just at the start of a 6-week stay-at-home order, which has made things quite difficult. So, as a church, we've not gathered in person for 14 months. I suppose we had one outdoor gathering one time in August last year, but we have gone all virtual for well over a year now. And as you might imagine, with a church plant and people being just our relationship so new, having only 6 months to actually be together, and now having gone 14 months since then not being together, has just been so challenging. It's been so hard. That relational momentum in the life of a young church is so crucial. And so we've been feeling the sting of that and the loss of just not having the joy that we used to have of just gathering and singing together and laying hands and praying for one another. We've just been feeling that pain for some time now. And two, the border's been closed down, campuses have been closed down, and so there haven't been new international students in Toronto to meet, which is usually just the most open population for us. So we've had to find alternatives to reach international students who've been here for some time, and just try and grow relationships in this sort of awkward digital way when there's just so many more barriers than there would be in person. Now that being said, I just wanted to say there's a lot of things we're still celebrating that we're seeing God doing. I think one is that Jessie's counseling ministry has, I would say, just been minimally impacted. She is seeing 15 clients now regularly. She didn't lose any on account of COVID-19. She had to go virtual, but we were able to make that work, and all of her clients were excited to stay on. And we're still seeing God do powerful things as she ministers to people from many nations around the world. We've also been able to continue to grow rapport on campus and in the city. And so I've been able to build trust, and I've got invites to speak at many events, and I'll be running, our church will be running a student summer discipleship program for students across the city. And so just being able to build that rapport and those relationships has opened some really good doors. And the other thing is we've been finding virtual ways to share the gospel. We've shared the gospel in the last year with probably a couple dozen students from around the world. And most of these students had basically no prior exposure to Jesus or the gospel. Maybe had heard his name, but just thought of him as maybe a historical figure they knew very little about. And these stories that I'm hearing of transformation, people hearing the gospel, coming to Jesus, but also even just reflecting on their life and their need for a Savior. I was, even sharing with a young man who grew up in Iraq, and I was asking him if there are things in his life that he saw that made him think of God, or that maybe God was real or with him or loved him. And he said, he had an experience when he was a young boy where he very narrowly escaped a suicide bomb because, he sort of dropped his papers and was late to the bus stop. And these kinds of stories are just par for the course here, ministry in Toronto, just sharing the gospel with people from closed nations, young people from around the world. We're still getting to do it, even though not in the volumes that we might have before, has been amazing. And one other really great thing God is doing me, and maybe even using to teach me in this time, is God has been sending me dreams of fruitful ministry and reminding me of, one second, got to get a cat out of the way. God's been sending me fruitful dreams, or dreams of fruitful ministry. And in the times where I just feel like my brain's getting foggy, or I'm like, when are we going to get to do normal ministry again? Or like, why did I sign up for this? God is sending me dreams in the night, just at all the right times, of just beautiful pictures of people hearing and receiving the gospel, disciples being made and raised up. And I've just learned of God's faithfulness in that, of like, he will send dreams in the night when that's what I need. When my mind is too foggy to remember well, he'll remind me in poignant ways even in the night. And that he doesn't work on my timescales. I'm so used to lightning fast ministry, meeting dozens and hundreds of students, on almost a weekly basis every September, and, starting new churches at rapid pace. That is my norm. And God is just showing me in this season that he's fine going slower. And finally, as far as how you all can continue to partner, please continue praying for us that Ontario would have a successful vaccine rollout, that things would open, the borders would open up again, the campus would open up again, and there would be so many more ways to support, for you all to support us if there were open borders, if it were legal for so many in-person interactions, but it's not. So at this point, yes, we covet your prayers. And especially just for things in terms of needs for us, like childcare has been such a constant difficulty with just all the restrictions on who could possibly care for our little ones. So yes, please keep those things in mind and continue praying for us. Thank you for all your support and all you've done. Can't wait to see you all in person.